We had an old system that was DOS based that got converted to a Windows environment when the systems all changed, and it meant we had to print out lots of paperwork for the accountant to get his teeth into, and then that had to be audited. And basically I had to type everything in by hand. Every check butt had to be typed in, the details had to be typed in, balanced off against the bank statement, and it was quite a tiresome, tedious job. Took a fair few hours, but with BankLink, basically the information comes down to you on a daily basis if you really want it that often. It's literally a 5-minute job to check off the ones that have been presented against the check butts, and if you memorise all the entries, which we do, it just makes the job so much easier basically. Then I heard a presentation they made. I can't remember which seminar or whatever it was, but it seemed to be that it would work for us, so I followed through on it, and sure enough it works for us. The paperwork we have to give the accountant, certainly at the end of the year, because there is none. We just fire him through the BankLink files, and he can work from them because he's compatible with BankLink and has his own systems, and if he has any questions, and they tend to be few and far between these days because the analysis of the check butts is quite simple from his perspective. So yeah, it just saves one hell of a lot of time, a bit of toing and froing in terms of driving or faxing or things like that. It's just one email basically, then maybe a couple of phone calls to follow up. He spent probably 3 or 4 hours with me, if memory serves. There were a couple of little hiccups at the beginning in terms of me not understanding fully either the power or the software or the route to get to something. There is a manual that goes with it, but I mean, typical male, you know it all, so you don't bother reading the manual. But I did refer to it a fair few times, and if I couldn't find the answer, they were literally a phone call away, and obviously happy to help. Absolutely brilliant. In fact, they're coming round to see me on the weekend while they're in Auckland, and that's a real plus, because while not normally a working day for me, having to make the time to get the problem solved. So yeah, brilliant. If one of our committee members or one of our executive now asks how much a sponsor has sponsored over a period, or how much we spent on a certain heading, it's literally a couple of keystrokes away, and I can print out or produce PDFs or email the reports as quick as anything. So it's made communication a lot easier. It's made the committee understand a lot better than they would have beforehand. Beforehand it was all based on questions on the annual report, which then meant more research from my point of view, having to go back and check things, quite often having to phone the accountant up while we're in meetings to say, why did you treat it this way, or why is that, or how was this made up. Now it's literally just there at the end of the keyboard. I'd say I was very happy with it, so much so in fact that I've got it organised for my own personal accounts now, 2 bank accounts and a credit card, because while the banks themselves offer you budgeting things and downloads for your finances, it doesn't allow you to dissect the bank card payments. And when you work from home and have a home office and have to account for spending on the home office, the dissection value alone of being able to say part of this cheque went for this, part of this cheque went for that, part of this cheque went for the other, and being able to analyse it to the nth degree makes it, again, just so much easier. And the driving force is keeping the accountancy bills down, because when someone's got to do that longhand with sheets and sheets of paper, it costs you a lot of money. We saved, I think, about $1,200 on the annual accounts for the Sign and Display Association, and I'm expecting to save that or better on my own personal account. GST now takes, I would say, all of 5 to 10 minutes maximum, whereas it used to take me a day of paperwork spread out, a calculator, a pencil, a rubber, a few sheets of paper and a photocopy of the return so I could pencil it in and make it right before I filed the actual one. So yeah, big saving there. Time saving would be the first one, accuracy of data would be the second one, regularity of receiving the results would be third, and the savings in the accountancy fees certainly a big plus. Yeah, 4 main points I would say.
Your skills plus our expertise equals stress-free accounting. Phone us today for our latest special offer. Free phone 0800 2222 68.